Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast. Time to hashtag everything. We talk about all the fun, crazy stories on social media. From Instagram to Facebook, Twitter to Tumblr, or probably even Friendster. Join us each week as we explore the quirky side of social media. It's the Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast.
It's simple, such a sad song. The one that we rely on to get us.
Welcome to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, brought to you by GSMC Podcast Network. I don't know what I was going to say after that. Sorry. A few interesting topics I have today for you guys. The first one's kind of sad. The next two are kind of annoying, but it's on social media.
So here we are.
Here we go. The first one is about the Bumblebee. Have you heard?
I thought this was the honeybee. This is new?
Now
it's the bumblebee?
Yeah, it said it's a species of bumblebee. So officially for the first time in the United States, a bumblebee species has been declared endangered.
That's so sad.
The reason why I say officially is because I want to say a few years ago, like early 2010s or early 2000s in like Hawaii, there was a situation where the bumblebee was going to be put on the endangered list, but then something happened and it wasn't. So that's why this is like officially the first time, I guess.
Are there any other bee species that are endangered, or is it just the bumblebee?
I think it's just the bumblebee, but that's still scary because even though it is just the bumblebee, it could branch to other bee species.
Oh no.
So the bee species of the bumblebee that is endangered is called the rusty patched bumblebee, and then its scientific name is, I'm gonna say it is super wrong, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Bombus affinis. Okay. If I got that wrong, any of you scientists out there, please let me know. But yeah, it used to excuse me. It used to be the most common bee seen around, from what the article I read said. And it used to thrive in 28 states. It didn't say which 28 states. It just said 28. And I wasn't about to read all of those anyway. And in the District of Columbia. So that's crazy.
Wow. It was really doing well.
It was.
Aww,
yeah.
Poor
And
guy.
I remember seeing bumblebees everywhere when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now I think I only see, I don't know, maybe not even like one a day in the summertime.
Yeah. Well, the worst part about this is that it's not the yellow jackets that are endangered.
Yeah.
Which they should, if there's a way to just transfer that from the bumblebee to the yellow jacket, obviously there's not. But if there was a way, that should happen, because yellow jackets are the worst. Nothing ruins a barbecue like a yellow jacket.
And they're scary to look at too.
Yeah.
They're like large and just in charge.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, they're horrible. But in the past, this was some crazy information. In the past 2 decades, that's 20 years for those of you who don't know what 2 decades is. I only say that because as I was typing this, my son was just like, in the past 2 decades, and he's like reading over my shoulder. Mm-hmm. I'm like, and I asked him, do you know what that is? And he's like, what? And I'm like, 20 years, 2 decades, 10 decades. What? So it was like a weird, my kid is weird.
Now he knows.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody else who doesn't, now you know. But anyway, in the past 2 decades, the population of this bee has dropped by 90%.
Oh my, what?
I'm going to repeat that. The population of this bee dropped 90%. That is crazy.
I mean, that's kind of like when I've been around, so maybe I did something.
It's not your fault, Heidi. I don't think
sorry.
I don't think it's your fault. But I do think that is an alarming number. Like, for it to drop at, oh my gosh, that is a lot.
What have we been doing?
Yeah, exactly. What have we been doing?
Nothing to help the poor bee.
No, we aren't. It's so sad. So if this bee goes extinct, it is only a matter of time before like the rest will follow, which is super sad, because if you don't know how serious that is, I'm gonna just say go watch the children's movie Bee, and it explains why it's bad if bees go extinct. Have you seen that movie?
The Bee movie, but Bee.
Well, it's the Bee. Is it the Bee? What is that children's movie? It's called Bee.
There's the Bee movie, which is Jerry Seinfeld's movie.
It's that one, the Bee movie.
Oh, okay.
The children's movie, the Bee movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Go watch that. It explains clearly and on a level for anybody to understand.
Yeah. That's a strange movie, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
if you haven't seen it already on the internet.
Yeah, it is. It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
But it does, you don't have to watch all of it, but just watch the part where it shows like the flowers, and then especially the roses where they just like to start to die off, and then it explains
like the second half of the movie.
Right. Mm-hmm. Explains the importance of bees and how they affect our community, our economy. I'm gonna go with that word because it's not well, I don't know, I'm just thinking way too much right now. Anyway, there are more than 3,000 species of bees. I totally didn't know that. I thought there was like the 5. Right? The pollination bee, the yellow jacket, the bumblebee, the wasp, the whatever.
There's probably one other.
Yeah, one other. And I was like, oh, there's not that many. Yeah, no, there's 3,000. Didn't know that. But of bumblebees, more than 40 of those belong to the genus Bombus, the one that's on the endangered species list. So, yeah, kind of sad. So the reason the bumblebee is endangered, like what Heidi said earlier, what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a loss of habitat, diseases and parasites, pesticides, and climate change. So, yeah.
What like disease affects a bumblebee?
I don't know, but I feel like I don't know what kind of diseases affect animals, because I know animals and insects reacted, like they don't have the same reactions as we do to different things, but then they also have different illnesses too.
Yeah,
that we have. So
like animals can have different sicknesses.
Yeah, and I'm sure like the pesticides and everything doesn't help. And all the chemicals, so it probably affected them in some kind of weird way. Obviously it did if they're in the endangered species list. But if you didn't already know, the reason that this is a big deal for humans, it's because bees pollinate a lot of our food. And then so with the pollination, they like transfer stuff too. So it's not just
transfer pollen.
Yeah. So exactly, the pollen. So they transfer pollen, but it's from like plant to plant. And it's not just plants, it's like the vegetables, fruits as well.
Right. So it's like when you're growing your tomatoes. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good vegetable.
Yeah, no, tomatoes is a good one because they're like almost the only pollinators of tomatoes.
Really?
Bees, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's true because birds don't eat tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's crazy, but they also pollinate, like it's like I said, different fruits and then other flowers, stuff like that, blueberries, cranberries, clovers.
And pollination is when the bee is taking pollen from like, I don't know, a blueberry plant, and then they're going to another blueberry plant, for example. They're taking the pollen, it gets like stuck on their body because they have little tiny hairs on their legs, and then when they go to the other plant, that pollen falls off their body onto the other plant, and that's how plants like reproduce by spreading their pollen.
Exactly.
By like bees, or if a bird eats a fruit and then it'll like pass the seeds through its body, and those will drop somewhere else on the ground, and then that turns into a plant. It's like how plants spread. Exactly.
And that is important because we do eat these tomatoes and berries and
so
things
many
like
other
that.
Things.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why it's important that bees don't go extinct, because it could have a huge effect on human life in general too.
And like farmers need bees. Like on farms, a lot of times if you drive by like orchards, you'll see little white boxes at the ends of orchards, and that's that's bees that a farmer has placed, like honeybees usually. I feel like honeybees are a very common pollinator of all the bees, and they'll use those bees to like pollinate throughout their orchard and stuff like that.
And which is smart because they're not just like growing like the plants. They have like, what are those, like the bee hive people where they have their own hives?
Like the beekeeper?
Yeah, the beekeepers. And they have like, it's like Heidi said, like a few of them around. So
to collect the honey.
Right.
And things like that.
Yeah. And keep their crop like, thriving. So that's important. And I like the ones that have their own beehives and stuff, because then those are like good ones.
Right,
Hopefully.
or they're like farmers who care about
exactly
like, the care of their plants, the biodiversity of their plants, and things like that.
Right. I don't feel like those ones would be putting a whole lot of chemicals in the growth either, because if they can do it naturally with their bees, it would help.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. They could maybe to make them bigger. You never know. You never
to ward
know.
off other insects.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the economy value of population. This is crazy. The economic value. My fault. I meant to say economic value of population of pollution. Okay, I'm gonna re-say that whole sentence. The economic value of pollination services provided by native insects is estimated around $3 billion a year.
Oh, wow.
That is a lot.
Yeah. And that's like a lot of, that's not just bees, but other insects, but that's crazy.
Right. It is not just bees, but a few ways that we can help stop the bees decline. Like I said, it was 90%. Let's not let it drop anywhere below, please. Is just planting native flowers to your area. Native flowers for your area. Some flowers can't grow in certain climates, so just research what native flowers around you would be helpful. What else? Avoid using pesticides if you can, not just for the bees' health, but for your own too, because nobody wants to eat and drink chemicals.
Right.
Keep or foster natural landscapes that attract insects. So don't just bulldoze like wooded area near you just because it doesn't look attractive. Like, things live there. So don't take away their home. Super important. Yeah. And on that, before we take a quick break, I do want to mention that there's an amazing deal going around with Audible. And if you sign up or start right now, if you start a 30-day trial, your first audiobook is free. Audible has an amazing list of stuff. Look up Audible. Maybe you can listen to a audiobook on bees and how to keep them alive if you don't want to read about it. Yeah. But go to audible.com/GSMC social or text GSMC social to 500. Again, just go to audible.com/social or text GSMC social to 500 for your 30-day trial. And your first audiobook is free. We're going to take a quick break and talk about more social media news when we come back. Stay with us.
What happens to your decision making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Brought to you by Washington Target Zero.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. We're going to move on to our next, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is Cardi B and Offset. And if any of you are on social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. So I just want to start off by saying, if you don't know who Cardi B and Offset are, Offset is with the rap group Migos. And Cardi B was on some kind of reality show, which one? I don't remember which one it was. But then she's like now a rapper. So they're both kind of rappers right now. Mm-hmm. You can judge for yourself what kind of rappers they are. But I want to say it was like last week sometime. Offset went on, I don't remember if it was Twitter or his Instagram, but it was one of his social media platforms where he if you don't, okay, rewind just a little bit. Cardi B and Offset were married. They were married, they had a baby, and now they're no longer together. They're separated.
Are they officially separated, or have they just said that they're separated?
They just said that they're separated. It's not like she's filed for divorce or anything like that. They're just not together like that anymore for the time being. So the situation was, some things went down, and on Offset's social media platform, he went on to say that he cheated on her.
Oh gosh.
And that's the reason why she, left him. And he was like begging for forgiveness on his social media platform. Did you see his little video?
No.
He was okay. He was
spared.
You were definitely. He was nice about it. He was just like owning up to his mistake and kind of taking accountability for what he did. He's just like, I know what I did was wrong. I did mess with that girl, and I know how bad it was. But this is what kind of just like, I didn't sit well with me. He was like, my only birthday wish and Christmas wish is to be back with my family, with my wife, with my kid. I don't know if they had a boy or a girl. I don't follow him that much, but he said he just wanted to be back with his family, basically. So yeah, it was an okay kind of I'm sorry, but I mean, I feel like he's been trying to say sorry to her for a long time, and she's just like not having it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say this was his first time cheating on her, because I don't think it was. Or she wouldn't just be like, oh, that's it. This probably had to have happened multiple times for her to finally just be like, no. You know what I mean? And so the reason why I bring this up is because with all of the comments on his social media platform where he put that apology out there, and then people going at Cardi B, they're like, oh girl, you should take him back, give him another chance, make it work for the sake of your baby, he's so sorry, girl, let him be with his family. And I'm just like, are y'all serious right now? Like, this dude cheated on her.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's just one time, and y'all want her to get back with the man who obviously doesn't value their relationship, and they're just, and it's mostly females. That's the crazy thing. It's mostly females saying, give him another chance. And I want y'all to understand that me being a female, I'm not going to condone that. Like, I don't know why any other female would be like, because you'd be like, if that was my dude and he stepped out on me even one time, I'm not taking him back. But you're so willing to give the opposite of advice to somebody else.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's weird. I feel like, especially he did that on social media, which is just inviting that type of thing, which I think is a little manipulative, because I think he I'm not saying for sure, but I could see this as a possibility that he's using the platform to get sympathy, to get this like peanut gallery of like people saying, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. And then it is weird that a bunch of like women were like, oh, it's like take him back. And I think it's just like kind of just like the bleeding heart, you just like feel bad when like when a man is like vulnerable, you just like feel for him. Sure. Which like I understand, but I feel like this situation,
it's like
maybe this is the wrong situation for like empathy.
Yeah, exactly. And you do kind of feel bad because he is really like, his tone is really soft and apologetic. But at the same time, it's like, where was that when you decided to step out on your wife?
Yeah.
Like, you guys got married, you made vows to each other, you know what I mean?
You have a kid.
Exactly.
Also, Cardi B is a huge megastar right now.
Exactly. Right? She is. Like, everybody loves her.
I don't know why you would, like, that's like such, like, not that I'm saying this is the point of the relationship, but that's like a great deal right now.
It is. And she's doing so much better than him.
More, I would say she's more famous than him.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. More successful.
Exactly. And I feel like her length of fame is still lasting a lot longer than his did. Because I remember when the Migos came out, and I was like, okay, they're going to have like maybe 2 or 3 good songs, which I feel like that's all I've heard, but I don't follow the rest of their career. But I mostly see her and what she's doing and changing things up or featured on something else more so than I hear the Migos on anything. Right. So I just want people to know that, even though you want to have sympathy or empathy for him, understand that those were his actions. He chose that. He put himself in that position, and I don't feel like telling another female to be okay with that, just because I do feel like they are celebrity status, that's just saying that, oh, any dude that cheats on his girl is okay. Like, if he's sorry, it's fine. Go back to him. No, because if the role was flipped, everybody would be throwing a huge fit. Like, I can't believe she would do that to him, blah, blah, blah. Not just Cardi B, but I feel like anybody, like, if I did that to my man, or, you know what I mean? They'd be like, you really would do that to him, kind of thing. So I just don't understand why a lot of females are forgetting, or just having that mindset.
Right.
It just throws me through a loop.
Also, social media is not a forgiving platform.
It's not.
I feel like you can never win.
Right.
And like, as soon as one person says something, everyone will just like jump on that bandwagon and just like, oh yeah, what that person said. Right. Or they'll just like fight amongst themselves. But
exactly, they'll have their thread of going back and forth with, and then they will pick sides. They will pick sides.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I thought, so Cardi B is, she kind of went out, and I think a few of her fans were coming at her for this. She kind of stepped out and did speak on it a little bit, but she spoke on the people coming at Offset in a negative way. And so she was like, hey, I know that you guys are trying to have my back, but please don't speak negatively. That's still my baby dad. But and having a lot of backlash from millions of people, and seeing that can have an effect on your mentality. And she's just like, it's not fun when you see a lot of people just kind of downing you. And so she was like, please, I'm not. What did she say? She said she's not supporting his actions, and like having his back in that aspect, but she is having his back on, telling people just to lay off of him. Okay. This is their business. Matter of fact, like, he put it out there, sure. And everybody knows who they are, but at the same time, don't come at him for, calling him all these names and stuff. So she kind of had his back there, and I thought that was pretty cool of her to do.
Right.
So, because I feel like that in a relationship, at the end of the day, she still chose him. He still chose her. That is still the father of your child. So have his back if, still be his rock if that's all he has. But you don't want to hear other people bad mouthing the person who is the father of your child either.
Right.
So
and that's also so, like, I can't imagine how difficult that would be for, like, not just for like Cardi B and Offset, but for anyone, of just like having something so personal be so public.
Right.
Like, that would just be terrible.
It would be hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Hard to deal with.
I think I would be a recluse. I would just leave. Just go like live in the wilderness.
Exactly. Well, it's hard enough to have like your 3 or 4 girlfriends like yapping in your ear.
Yeah.
And then like having the whole world say things, and you're reading this. I can only imagine the mental effect it has on these people, which, oh God, good luck.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was pretty cool of her. And I do want to mention that, if you are one of those trolls like commenting and stuff, keep it civil, and then know that this is between them, even though they put it in the public. Right. Don't condone negativity, like for him cheating on her and just saying, oh, take her back. Just put yourself in her shoes. If you're a female, would you take back your man if he continuously cheated on you, and then just like put it on blast, especially on social media?
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't think I would. I'd be like, you can go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, guys, I don't think that that's your place to put that stuff on social media, because it's kind of embarrassing.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
Don't put on blast that you just went out and cheated on your girl and you're just so not that you can be heartbroken, it's fine, but those are your choices, those are your actions,
right,
that put you in that position. So on that, right before our break, I will mention that there is a great deal going on with Audible. They have a great selection of audiobooks, just anything you can think of, basically. So if you're on the go and don't have time to read a book, like sit down and read a physical book, this is a great source to get your audiobooks. And if you start a 30-day trial, your first audiobook is free, which is a great deal right now. To find out more information, just go to audible.com/GSMC social, or text GSMC social to 500-500. Again, for more information, just go to audible.com/GSMC social, or text GSMC social to 500-500. We're going to take a quick break and then come back with more social media news. Stay with us.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, After one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Brought to you by Washington Target Zero.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. Our last topic we are going to be talking about is Kanye versus Drake update, because last time we talked about Kanye versus Drake and just the nonsense going on with them. But so I guess Drake and Kanye live in the same neighborhood. I totally didn't know that. Did you know that, Heidi?
Not at all. I can't even, like, can you imagine just like what cars are parked on the street in that neighborhood?
Well, they're probably not parked on the street because I'm sure it's
That's
like
true.
gated.
That's true. And then they're your giant driveway and like your
Yeah.
car garage.
Oh my
Can you imagine just
gosh.
like going for a walk down there or being like the postman for that neighborhood?
I would hate that.
That's crazy. And you probably have to hike to get to the mailbox.
I
But,
know.
like, that's, wow.
Gosh, I don't know.
Talk about neighborhood drama.
I know, right? Well, update for this is a source said that Drake, 32-year-old Canadian rapper, if you don't know by
He
now.
was Canadian.
Oh, yeah, I did. I knew he was Canadian.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
A lot of people are from Canada that I'm finding out recently, like Seth Rogen. I already
Yeah.
knew Jim Carrey was,
Yeah.
Drake.
Mike Myers is Canadian.
Yeah, he is. They can take Justin Bieber back, though, for real. Just get him on out of here.
But he married an American.
He did, but he can take her too. Isn't that like a Baldwin daughter?
Yep.
So yeah, they're crazy.
Next social media news.
Right, exactly. Moving on. Anyway, they said that Drake put extra security outside his home last Friday. I think because of the Kanye thing. He hasn't said much about the beef.
Drake hasn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he doesn't really say
He
much.
doesn't need to. Kanye said everything.
God, he is gonna continue to say everything. Other than a few crying, laughing emojis, Drake hasn't said much. Like, he'll put those on like comments, but that's about it.
Like, he'll comment on what Kanye says?
Yeah, and just be like the crying, laughing emoji.
That's
Ah, ha
pretty
ha ha.
funny.
Like,
also,
seriously.
like, the fact that he put more security, that means paparazzi are outside his house at all times.
Right.
Like, oh, they're putting in a new security camera.
Exactly.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, I know. And you know it has to do with this Kanye mess. It's not because he's scared. He's like, just stay away from me, please. I got better things to do. So, yeah, which I can imagine. I'm just all like, Drake, good luck to you. You're dealing with a crazy person. But Kanye, this is crazy. I didn't know that. Kanye has tweeted over 125 times about the beef with Drake. Now, when we did the episode on when the one that we talked about this, I remember reading like at least 5.
Yeah. So he... Wait, can you say that again? He has tweeted over 125
times
Does
about...
that mean 125 separate, like, tweet, like, send-outs?
It wasn't consistently. I feel like it was through the last, I don't know.
Like, few weeks? Or something?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah, but
gosh.
if anybody follows Kanye, he's
That's
just
an
like
essay.
Yeah.
He's written an essay about this.
And he doesn't do just one tweet. He does like a continuous set of like anywhere between, I want to say 4 to 7 tweets.
Yeah, he's that person in your group message.
Yeah.
But doesn't just put it in one. You get like 5 messages where each one is like a word.
Yes, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. I'll be like, get your thoughts together, send them to me all at once.
Did not draft this.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Oh my God, that's Kanye. And yeah, but 125 tweets about the beef with, this is crazy. But now, this is the next tweet that he put. He said all of a sudden, he says it's all love between them. With the 125, no, it's not. No, it's not all love between y'all. You're just saying this because people are telling you to. Kanye tweeted, Drake and Trav, he put Trav, I misspelled. Both love Ye more than anyone. I love those guys back. We love everyone. Now, apparently he has some beef with Travis Scott also. So that's why he put Travis in that last tweet. Drake and Trav both love Ye. First of all,
isn't Travis Scott in his family?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Well, Travis Scott kind of like was going with Drake, like was siding with Drake, because there was like a photo shoot or something where Travis Scott and Drake were together, but
it's just business.
Yeah, exactly. But Kanye takes everything personally. So yeah, I was like, how do you know? In his tweet, he said Drake and Trav love Ye more than anyone. First of all, no, they don't. No, they don't love you more than anyone. Okay, I'm sure there are many other people they love more than you. But yeah, I don't know. Just Kanye needs to get checked. Kanye's sister-in-law, Kylie Jenner, who I don't know if she's dating Travis Scott or is that the other one, the Kardashian one?
No, that's that one.
It's that one?
It's one of the Jenners.
Okay, well, I think it was Kylie Jenner who's dating Travis Scott. Anyway, she went on Twitter to have Kanye's back, saying everyone is good, moved on, living life, and it's only positive energy.
Yeah, so it is Kylie Jenner who's with Travis Scott, and they have a baby together.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that was recent, like last year, this year, something like that. Yeah. Okay, I remember. I remember hearing it. It's hard for me to follow the Kardashians. They get on my nerves.
There's really a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, she went on to have his back and saying that it's only positive energy. It's all good vibes. I don't really feel like it is. Because Kanye, it's Kanye.
Also, it's so weird because it's on social media, so we only are getting the highlights from Kanye, just like straight from his brain. Like we don't get anyone else's side.
No.
So like when he's like, "Oh, it's all good," like I don't know what that means. Like, does that mean you guys talked at all, or does that mean it's just you saying that? Like everything else that I've heard about this,
I just feel like it's his bipolarism kicking in, because if you've seen any interviews with Kanye, like you'll see him go off on his crazy rants, but then on his calm like side of him, his other personality, whatever you want to call it, it's just like, oh, I just want to represent love and everything is love and we all just should love each other. Like he goes off on this like whole love and peace on earth kind of
that
thing.
Would be so tiring.
Yeah,
to be around. So
I really feel like when he goes off on his like beef rant with Drake and then now he's just like, oh, it's all love. It's like, really? Until
like nothing happened. It was just a personality switch.
It's so weird. It's like, okay, don't say you were sleep deprived, sir, because you are proving that wrong. You are.
Yeah, he needs to like get out of the house and put down the phone.
He does. That's exactly what Kim said. She said she will not comment any further on the drama because I guess she was apparently asked, and she has directed. They said she has directed Kanye to do the same. Do not comment any further.
Yeah, that should just be his life motto.
It should. I do want to mention at the end of this, as we wrap this up, that if you don't know, if you haven't seen Snoop Dogg's little video about this, is hilarious. I think it's on his Instagram. That's where I sent it or seen it. Go look on Snoop Dogg's Instagram or Twitter, but he's hilarious. He he had a little something to say about it. And first he said he is tired of hearing and reading all about the mess on social media. He sounds so much better than me because he can cuss on his and I can't, but he said I see why you and Trump hang out so much. Y'all like to tweet, so, and then he says some other words. But then he said Kanye needs Dr. Phil, and he was like, nah, he needs Maury. No, he needs to bring his behind to Jerry Springer, and then he goes off on like the Jerry Springer chant. Is hilarious.
Oh man, that was the old way to do like public announcements.
Right, exactly. He
on
was,
TV.
And the two things that stuck out to me that Snoop said were during this little clip. He said, "Get off that phone and go holla at him in real life. Stop telling the whole world what you're going through. We don't care. We all have our own problems." I was like, for real though, go ahead, Snoop. And then he was just like, somebody take this man's phone away. Just take his phone away. I was like, yes.
Apparently Kanye can't even go to Drake's house because he has extra security.
I know,
he's going to be
right?
talking to a security camera.
Exactly, trying to get through paparazzi and all of them too.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, if you guys hear anything more, we'll keep you updated on the Kanye Drake situation. Yeah, because it's always in the news. And then possibly the Cardi B and Offset thing. Hopefully they get that. hopefully they get that settled. I do want to say it is not the best for the people saying stick together for the sake of the child. That's not a positive way for kids to grow up or live. No. If their parents are arguing and fighting in the home. It affects the children in a negative way. So please don't be putting stuff like that out there. It's better if they're both happy in separate homes or whatever, or if they're able to work it out, great. But thank you so much for listening to this social media news podcast. Join us next time for more social media updates and new news.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.